Oh, that went well. I think Luke's literally just about to walk in the door. He's so crooked. But I need to do this update before I am not this many weeks anymore. How many weeks am I? I think I'm 14. But I think I'm 14 weeks and officially out of the first trimester. 14 weeks and 2 days. I didn't update on the Friday because Granny ended up passing away 8 p.m. or just after 8 p.m. on Thursday. So we've been with family all Friday, and then with my family a bit on Saturday, and then today we've been doing the backyard. So I've just finally sat down, and this is my 14-week update, my first update of the second trimester, and because I usually go over, so I'm going to go off 14 weeks being the start of the second trimester rather than 13. My nausea has gotten a lot better. Every now and then I feel sick, but it's not the amount of sick I have felt this pregnancy, and there are moments when I feel fine, nausea wise, almost fine. Even now, like right now, I feel okay and I really want to eat something, but I just feel like a little bit refluxy, which is causing a little bit of nausea, but like it's very easily dealable. I've actually found just taking Rennie for the reflux settles the nausea. I took it before bed and that seemed to help. Just once. I haven't taken it any other time, but yeah. Though I still struggle at dinner time more than any other meal. As you can see, pimples. I didn't have pimples. Like I did, but like nothing compared to my normal skin or my previous pregnancies. But I have broken out in a lot of pimples today. Luke's finally home. Is he coming in? There is a person at your front door. Yeah, it is Luke. Oh gosh, so this is mine. Oh, what's going on? This is Levi's. I just didn't get to put it up his nose very far, so don't know how good that is, but like the test line's there and it hasn't even reached the control line yet. I feel so miserable. Make sure the control line's gonna show up. Yes, it is. So I am now 14 weeks and more days. Tuesday, so Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, 4 days. I need to pause that TV. So I started doing Sunday, I think it was Sunday, I started doing my 14-week update, and Luke came home and it just got busy. And then Sunday afternoon going into evening, I started having like hay fever symptoms, and I thought it was just hay fever because we were literally like doing stuff out in the backyard, kicking up dust and dirt and who knows what else, so it made sense that it would be hay fever. Yeah, this is gonna be hard. And then I said to Luke the Sunday night, I was like, I hope this is just hay fever, because I kind of feel like I'm getting sick again. And like it's been 2 weeks since we had gastro. Like it's been one thing after another lately. I think it's because we've been back at Robin's house, and it just seems like colds spread very quickly when you're in a high density family household, especially when you visit some of the families visiting hospitals constantly and works at doctors and pharmacists and like places that often have sick people. And then we've got one kid in daycare that comes to visit, which I'm pretty sure is where this came from. Doomed to get sick constantly in that environment. Sunday morning, I got a text message from the cousin's parents, so my sister-in-law and stuff, saying that the cousin that we'd seen Friday, Saturday, and my brother-in-law were sick. They'd been sick overnight. I hope we're okay, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I feel sick, but I'm pregnant, so that's a normal for me. Everyone else seems fine. Evening, I had hay fever and was otherwise okay. I did start complaining that my legs were aching, but it was like after swimming, like an hour or two after swimming. So I thought it was just from swimming because I haven't done swimming with the kids for ages. Monday morning, 1 a.m, so just Monday, I got woken up by my headache. It was just like pounding, and I don't know if I slept. Like, I tried to, but I just couldn't actually get to sleep because my head was hurting so much, and I was just in so much pain from my headache. And I basically had a breakdown because it was like migraine. Like, I felt like I was gonna throw up because my head hurt so much. I couldn't open my eyes because the room was bright, even though the curtains were shut and it was like barely morning. The room was too bright, and I was like, even closing my eyes it was still too bright. I had to close my eyes and cover them. But I had to get up and get my eldest to school, Hayden to school, which is a 2.5 hour round trip, by the way. So I got up, really struggled to get everything ready, but I did it. I got everyone ready. Everyone else was fine. I thought it was just a headache because I Googled, and apparently migraines are common in pregnancy, especially in the first trimester, and I'm only just out of the first trimester. But yeah, and I was like, it makes sense. And I was like, I better take a rat test anyway. So I took a rat test literally in the car about to leave. The test line showed up positive instantly. Like, I was very, very positive for COVID. Like, I got one from today. This was yesterday. It's Tuesday now. Hello. Yeah, so as you can see, this is the test line, that's the control line, and the test line is like twice as dark as the control line. Hello, my face. Yeah, this is how I feel. There we go. Rang my mum and was like, what do I do? And she said, test Hayden. So I tested Hayden. He was negative. And he actually let me test him properly for once, which was unusual. He usually hates it, understandably. But I said, if he wants to go to kindy, we have to make sure he doesn't have COVID, so we have to test. Hello, you. You are so far negative. I still got 5-10 minutes left on this test, but I mean, compared to mine. But I honestly didn't get much. Someone didn't want me to do it today. Anyway, back to yesterday morning, Monday morning. I rang mum and she said, if Hayden's negative, bring him, because then we can get him out of the house, because we're pretty sure we got it from the cousin, and I was holding her heaps and looking after, I was handling her, holding her, looking after her and everything, whereas Hayden and Levi, they played together, but they were just sort of on their own bikes, running around after each other, not properly touching, you know. Hopefully Hayden hasn't gotten it yet and we can get him out before he gets it. So he tested negative, so he's now staying with my mum. Hopefully he stays negative and doesn't get sick, but if he gets sick or tests positive, she's testing him twice daily, whether he's showing symptoms or not. Then I'll go pick him up and bring him back, but otherwise he'll stay with her. And then the plan was to send him to Luke's mum's for an extended sleepover with the two grandies, so that he didn't have to come back to this sick household. So far it's just me, by the way. Levi seems fine. Are you okay? We were a bit worried, but he slept on the way to drop Hayden off at kindy, which was the hardest drive I've ever done, by the way. I had my sunnies on, I could barely open my eyes. I was struggling to stay awake, stay alert, and the body aches kicked in, and I was just in agony everywhere, and I was so weak. I should have known, but I thought it was just my headache messing with me at the first. But when I was making lunch, I couldn't open the peanut butter jar, and it's pre-opened. It should have just been easy, but it was just my hands were so weak I couldn't open it, and that should have clicked for me, because last time I had COVID this bad was 5 weeks postpartum with Levi, and I was really weak then as well. I did have it 2 months ago, and I felt horribly sick, but not to this extent. I dropped Hayden at kindy and then came home, basically secluded me and Levi in a bedroom full of toys. So I laid down and he played, and I tried to keep him away from me, but it's very difficult when you're the only carer for a young child and you are sick and need to keep them away from, like, it's not doable most of the time. And then I was getting hot and cold, like on the way to and from kindy. I was fiddling with the aircon, going hot and cold and hot and cold. Luckily I could have the kids set on like one steady temperature, and I was just fiddling with my side. But yeah, and then when I came home, I ended up with a low grade fever. I think it was 38, and it just sort of hovered around there, like it didn't get too high. Luckily, because I didn't have any Panadol or anything, and usually I let a fever play out, but being pregnant, I'm a little more concerned to do that than normal. But we didn't have any Panadol because Luke was bringing some home, so I was very miserable and could really not function. Luke came home and basically took Levi to let me sleep. That's when we got a bit worried about Levi, because he fell asleep really just fell asleep playing, which is unusual for him, but he'd only slept like from about 7:30 to 8 in the car, and that's all he'd slept all day. He missed his normal nap time, so hopefully that's the reason. I had a bath, which made me feel a lot better. First time bathing in the new house, and it's not how I wanted my relaxing bath experience to go first time, but that's fine. Last night I slept a bit better. Still struggled, but I was able to sleep to some degree. And I do like, my head hurts still and my body hurts still, but it's like not severe pain everywhere. It's just like achy everywhere, and really weak. Like just walking from one room to another, or even across this living room, was physically demanding. I must be better, because before I couldn't even sit upright. Like I just physically couldn't keep myself in an upright position on a chair. I had to be laying down, or I'd just start like shaking and trembling and not like I'd been doing a massive workout. But yeah, so I still feel like absolute crap. Like I feel horrible, and yet I feel so much better, and it's like really hard to wrap my head around. I think Levi's thing's done. It's got 1 minute. It looks negative, but I wouldn't really take this one seriously, because yesterday he was really good. I said, can I tickle your nose, tickle your brain? I showed him the stick and he nodded and came over and he let me do both sides, and it was amazing. And it was negative then. And then this morning I said, can we tickle your brain again? And he was all good. And then it must have hurt this time, because he is snotty, but that's relatively normal. I don't know if he has slight hay fever or what, but he does get snotty on and off without actually getting sick. I stuck it up one side and barely got it up properly, but I did get some boogers, so hopefully that helped. But he didn't want me to do the other side, and because he'd been so good and he's gonna stay home with me anyway, I was like, that's fine, I'm not pushing it. I don't want to make it a negative experience when he's doing so good letting me try. I was able to eat a bit of dinner, which was good, and I had breakfast. Still, my appetite's not really there, but if I don't eat frequently, small amounts at least, then I get nauseous from the pregnancy, and I don't want that on top of everything else. I also get really low blood sugar, so blood sugar, I'm known for that. Ow, blood pressure, so I need to eat, and eat salty things as well. Keep my electrolytes up and stuff. Siri just goes, I'm sending lots of emails, so I hope they find everyone well or something. And I'm like, what emails are you sending? What did Levi just say, or did you just hear? Because Levi's turning Siri on and off. This is on Luke's iPad, which is connected to his accounts and everything. So if he has a whole bunch of random emails sent, we're going to be in trouble. Today, as I said, I just feel really weak. And I feel like the actual head cold, like yesterday wasn't really much of a head cold. I had a little bit of hay fever, but otherwise it was hardly anything. But today, very head coldy, congested, and starting to cough. So I think that side of things kicking in now. as you can hear from my voice. But I was worried about Bub because after gastro, and then like Bub's already compromised health-wise, and then we had gastro, which wasn't great. I actually passed out a couple of times, or like not fully passed out, but blanked out enough that like I went from walking to like blinking awake on the ground. So I never hit my head or anything. It was just, I think, blood pressure. But obviously I was worried about Bub. And then now with this, I'm worried about Bub. I'm more worried about the fact that like that problem with Bub's stomach. Ow, you can come up, but don't hurt people. Sonographers were focusing on my placenta and my umbilical cord and blood flow to Bub. So I'm just sitting here like, if my blood flow is bad, how's the blood flow to the placenta? Is Bub suffering? You know what I mean? Like, but I did find Bub on the Doppler this morning. I think it's really hard. I think his heartbeat was like right next to his placenta. So like the two sounds were very close together, and I was struggling to hone in on just heartbeat. But I'm pretty sure they were both there. So, but yeah, so hopefully Bob's okay. I haven't. No, you're being silly. Go down. I was a lot happier yesterday. Now he's really bumpy, and I'm just. Do you want up? Hey, I can smell. I could not smell yesterday. Apparently, I was sitting in a poop for ages, and because we were in the one room, it must have stunk the whole room. Luke came home and said that's horrible, and I could not smell it at all. But I can smell it now, so that's good. I got an appointment at the hospital Friday the 24th at 12 p.m. at King Eddie's, so I'll go to that and hope everything's okay. Hopefully it's just magically resolved itself. Oh, I also was running to the toilet heaps Sunday to urinate constantly. I've been either struggling to empty my bladder or like been borderline with the UTI. I guess because I'm struggling to empty, like there's something going on urinary tract wise. Because yeah, I've just been needing to go to the toilet constantly. Even though my bladder's not always full. And then also even when my bladder's full, I've been struggling to actually empty it. Like, I feel absolutely miserable. And it was going to be a nice, happy, I'm feeling so much better now at 14 weeks update. But now it's a bit more of a miserable update because we have cooked. Well, I have cooked. You get to see my stomach. I've obviously deflated from last time because I had not eaten and been very sick. But yeah, like I'm literally feel tired now. That's me sucking in. But yeah, tiny little belly. So, bye people, see you in the next video. Hopefully I feel better by then.